Hey everybody, well, soybean farmer. I've made some more progress on getting my motor back on my riding lawnmower. Called up cousin Scotty Rock, and he came over here last night and helped me set this on here. And I am tickled to death with how this is working out. I went ahead and took the time to correct some things that had been a problem. These header pipes here they didn't fit right in here, and this piece that I made to put down here on the bottom, that's my tailpipe. Hey everybody, soybean farmer. Well, I work retail job, so we got weird hours, and this is my Friday afternoon and I'm off for the next 2 days. And I ran home and got highly involved with this mower. So I'm working on the electrical connections here. I've got the plus 12 volts to the fuel shutoff solenoid connected. I've got the ground wire for killing the motor connected. And I ran into an aggravation here on the actual start wire, feed wire to the solenoid that engages the starter. So I decided I'd break out the old soldering iron and get a good tight connection on that. Got the battery charger on here since this thing hadn't been cranked in over a month and a half. Get the battery charged up. And working along here tonight. Excited about, I may even get to crank this motor tonight. I'm getting closer and closer. I've got over here the connection here for the throttle is connected in and it works proper, and the connection here for the manual choke that I was so determined I was going to have, and it works proper, so I'm excited about that. Hey everybody, soybean farmer here. Well, here's the moment I've been waiting for now. Too much delay. Just took way too long to get this project to this point. But I've got oil in the motor. I've got all the electrical connections. Everything's ready to go. And I'm going over here, set my manual choke, and turn the key, and actually record live and see what happens. Hey everybody, soybean farmer here, back over here on the lawnmower project. And first thing you're probably noticing is like, hey, why have you taken the rear of the lawnmower apart? I mean, you know, like, why is the rear cowling sitting over there? Why is the seat sitting over there? What's going on here? Well, last night, as you've already seen in the first part of this video, we got that nice new motor all cranked up and it ran great. Tickled to death with it. And let it run a little bit, and then turned it off, sat down here in the chair and lit me a cigar. Thought about, hey, we're getting there. I started smelling gas. And sure enough, came back over here and investigated, because I had to reroute that 30-year-old fuel line over to this side of the motor. The old motor, it was on the other side. And when I bent it enough to get it around the steering column and come back through, I made a mess back here on the gas tank. I'll see if I can lift this up and turn it over and you can see it. I'll go ahead and try to get a little better picture here. Alright, that'll refocus now. Alright, focus machine. Over here, you can see right here, bottom of the gas tank, there's this rubber thing and it's loose, and it got loose when I moved this line, and lo and behold, it was leaking. And I said, oh no. Well, I went in the house and went to the one last place that I've been able to get parts for this machine, and no such luck. It was no longer available. I said, oh no, what am I going to do? Because that was the last place I knew of to get parts for this 1987 year model garden tractor. And I was exhausted, and I said, well, I'm tired, I'm just going to bed. Well, this morning when I ran up to Lewisburg Tractor to get the bearing for the seed bed finisher, different project, but one I'm finished with now, I was talking to the boy at the counter because they sell a lot of riding lawnmowers up there. I told him what had happened. He said, you need one of these. And back out and put that up here and see if that'll focus. He said it's a fuel tank bushing. I said, man, I'm talking about a 30-year-old White Outdoor Products, and he rattled off right quick. He said White was built by Simplicity, and we sell a lot of those. And so he sold me this. Well, at first glance, what's in this package looks a whole lot like what's in the bottom of that fuel tank, now that I've got it home. But while I was up there, I thought about it, and I said, how much does it cost? He said $2.75. Well, I've thrown away $2.75 before, so I said, give me one, it's worth a try. He said, it'll work. So here I am. It took me, I don't know, I didn't time it, but a right good while to tear this motor apart to get to the gas tank. And I'm fixing to find out if this bushing is going to solve my problem and stop this leak. You know, be a crying shame to spend $600 to put a new motor on a lawnmower and then have something like this shut it down. I was telling my wife about this last night, and she just threw up her hands and said, why don't we just go buy whatever riding lawnmower you want? I looked at her kind of funny, and I thought about it for a minute and almost took her up on it, but no, I want this one. This is the one I like. So I'm gonna go over here and find out if this part is gonna do me any good. Stay tuned, we'll see. Thanks for watching. Well, it's got to be some kind of miracle going on here. This bushing that I bought this morning actually fits this hole. I mean, it's snug when it goes in there. This is the valve assembly. This is pretty cool. Didn't realize this had it in it, but this right here is a fine wire mesh filter that's actually in the tank. And the way this thing goes up in the tank, it's about that high, so the trash is going to be sitting down below here. Now, the way this works, the fella told me, he said, you got to take this and slide that up through there without messing up the wire mesh filter, and then get into a serious fight. Hope you got a few words of faith that you can lay on it, because this has got to stretch. If you can see that right there, it swells a little bit. And that's what causes the seal. Part I didn't get was, should I put these together first, fight that fight, and then try to fight it into there, or should I put this in the tank and go to pushing on this? I'm kind of thinking that as big a fight as it is to get this onto here, that I might break that tank, because there's nothing supporting it while I'm pushing on it. So I'm kind of leaning towards the idea of fighting these two pieces together first, and then trying to get it in the tank. But anyhow, stay tuned, we'll see what happens. Okay, we fought with this thing for a right good while, and we finally got it in there. It's tight, really tight. You can't move it. I'm glad I had the sense to get it pointed in the direction it needed to be pointed as I was pushing it in. But I didn't break the tank. I've got it in there. And next issue is that fuel line that leaves the tank, going from the tank on up to the front of the mower. It's all brittle and messed up. So ran back up to the parts store and got me about 41 inches of brand new fuel line, and I'll get all that old fuel line off of here and put brand new on here. So let me get started on that and we'll see how that goes. Be right back, y'all. Well, there it is, everybody. This is going to bring Soybean Farmer's engine swap out on his white GT 1810 garden tractor to a close. I've got everything on here. It's all put back together. New motor. I managed to get a few fingerprints on it while I was working on it, but that's okay. I'm gonna get it really dirty when I take it out. Got all this put back together. Got the fuel leak issue resolved. That piece that good fella sold me up there at Lewisburg Tractor today took care of that. Tickled to death about that. Freaked out bad last night when Jack's small engines didn't have that part. But I'm well pleased with the way this came out. So, hope I get me another 10 years out of my machine. Everybody, thank you for watching my channel. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you so much for subscribing. I really enjoy your comments. Everybody, thank you. This is Soybean Farmer. Well, we'll go see what we're going to get into next. Thanks for watching, y'all. Bye now.